think Jordan Love will average 11 yards per attempt. What do you see here in this one?
Yeah, I told Chris when he was doing projections, I was like, whatever number you come up with for Jordan Love, I'll sign off on it. Even if it's 500. Because his prop right now is 227.5. That's an easy smash. Dallas is on pace to have the worst pass defense in the history of the NFL. I know it's only 3 games, but they've gotten obliterated in pretty much all 3. This is a great spot. Romeo Dubs, I'm firing up too. I like Matthew Golden. I love if you got a receiver on the Packers, play them. There's a chance he'll score a 60-yard touchdown for free because it will be a busted coverage.
What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. What is up? Welcome to the Week 4 edition of Matchup Points right here at fantasypoints.com. I'm John Hansen, Graham Barfield, Brett Whitefield, 2 Fields, locked and loaded, ready to go. 16 matchups to get to. So without any further ado, let's dive right into it. Seattle at Arizona kicks off Week 4 Thursday night. You may be listening to this after the game is played. If it's a weird, wild game, just fast forward because we'll probably get stuff wrong because it's a tough game to figure out. But we've got a total of 43. And Graham, I'll go to you and talk about the backfield in terms of Ken Walker. I know a lot of people were into him. The data looks really good as it relates to comparing it to Zach Charbonnet. But what are you seeing out of Ken Walker in general and in this matchup?
Yeah, Zach Charbonnet should be back this week, but I think we've all seen enough of a sample size where Ken Walker has played better than Charbonnet in I don't know. I'm putting a number on it, but 30 out of his last 35 games. Yeah, man, I think it'll be kind of the split all year. I think Seattle, obviously, they have NFC wild card aspirations, maybe even NFC West aspirations. They've got to get K9 healthy through the season. Why wouldn't you kind of take some of the load off with Charbonnet? But that being said, I think we'll see a split where it's Walker eventually getting 60-40 in terms of just this backfield split. Seattle, obviously, Sam Darnold's been playing a lot better. Brett can speak to that as well. But I think with Darnold playing reasonably well, I think Walker is definitely looking a lot better than how we were all feeling after Week 1. John, I got to ask you, the backfield I really want to talk about is this Cardinals backfield. Where are we at with Trey Benson? I couldn't put him high enough in the rest of season rankings. I just kept moving him up.
I mean, my gut feel, and I had him on my list, is I said, look, this is low-hanging fruit here. Let's do it in round 11. Just try out Trey Benson. My gut feeling is that I don't know if we're locked in. I think he will have a bad game or two. I know, Brett, the vision has improved a little bit. I don't know if they'll use him much in hurry-up situations, but obviously we're looking great with 15 to 20 touches. But I'm not totally convinced he's going to pop every single week with the volume, Brett. What say you?
Yeah, I know that for this matchup specifically, I think it's a tough one to start for his first game of the start. Seattle's defense is nasty. Their run defense especially is nasty. But I don't know. He's looked so much better this year. So much more improved. The vision for him, the
decisive.
Physicality. Yeah, he's decisive. The physicality.
Yeah.
He looks a little lean too. Maybe I think he's playing a little heavy last year, so maybe a little more bursty, better cuts. But yeah, I like him. I mean the role, if he gets the James Conner role, I mean it's going to be exceptional. So
yeah, it is. It absolutely is. I guess that's it. I mean, I'm just I'm not yet gonna blindly start him over. Trying to James Cook or even a Javonte or, you know what I mean? Or trying to think of another good example, like a Kyron or something like that. Certainly you're doing cartwheels right now if you have them and all that. Brett, what about, well, actually, let's go back to Seattle's offense with JSN. I mean, this is ridiculous here. I've never seen a dude with a higher yard per route run number. I mean, this is completely absurd. If this continues, he's catching 140. But what do you think here? I mean, I guess there's no end in sight to it. Given the offense, given how much Sam Darnold loves him, given the versatility of JSN, and he's good, I this is not going to slow down much. It's got to slow down a little bit though.
Yeah, what's crazy is it's like two worlds collided. One, JSN's taken a really big step forward as far as his performance goes, his route running, separation, all that looks great. And then the role in this offense is it's incredible. And Seahawks are not even throwing the ball at all, and JSN is still doing this. And so I don't know if you guys saw my tweet yesterday, but I put out all the metrics for how favorable this situation is for him. 27% first read share over last year, plus 5% designed target share over last year. He's winning against man 2.5% more, winning against zone 11% more. The slot rate is down 63%. He's down under 30%, which is huge. He's running the big boy routes. And then there's two other real standout metrics with him that I think is leading to this. Two cheat codes Zane Dahani, one of our data guys, and I have found are what we call consolidated target concepts. And that's when there's 3 or less route runners on a given play. Seattle's doing this more than almost any team in the NFL. Almost 15% of JSN's routes are being run where he's one of 3 guys running routes. So that increases his implied target percentage by 66%. And that's the role is just so juicy. He's going to continue getting this workload. In fact, I'm picking him to finish wide receiver 1 overall this year over Puka Nacua, which I know is a hot take, but I'm planting my flag there.
And that's all 12 personnel, right? That's why.
Yeah, it's a lot of 12, but it's also they just do a lot of max protection looks. The back's going to come block.
Smart.
Tight end's going to block, and we're going to give Darnold time to find an open guy. I think eventually this will trickle into really benefiting Torrey Horton as well. I don't think we're ready for it quite yet, but it's getting there.
Well, I'm happy to report. I hope people use my top 200 cheat sheet because I had JSN in the second round, and He was a third rounder, so I was very high on him. And you know why? Because the number one reason I think, in addition to the obvious, is our data showing he could win outside.
Yep.
Right. That's it. I wrote that in the draft plan, all that. I'm like, he's going to be outside a lot and he can do it. He can do it. So that's great. But who I don't know if he can do it. Brett, back to you is Marvin Harrison. I thought last week he would have a good game and it wouldn't be a big McBride game. And didn't he drop a bomb, Marvin Harrison? That could have been a big one, but they don't throw to the wide receiver much. I mean, this is bad, Brett. I mean, what do you think?
The eye test tells me he looks great. This is a Kyler issue. 18% target share ain't getting it done, man. 21.7% first read share. He's got 3 red zone targets, which you can hang your head on a little bit. I don't think they've converted on any of them though. But man, it's not good. And Seattle runs a ton of too high as well. It's bad. For his sake, I hope that they get a new quarterback in there at some point, in the next few years to try to, salvage him into being a superstar. But it's not looking great.
You and I are sharing a brain. I was out on a walk this week, and I was thinking, man, what is it going to take for Marvin Harrison to pop? I'm like, man, they're going to have to move on from Kyler. Like that's where I kind of got to in my head. And like for this week specifically, my only really like matchup note in this game is kind of like you said. Seahawks obviously running a ton of zone coverage, ton of too high. That has been a massively negative split for Marvin Harrison his entire career, who's been much better against man coverage than zone. I think, again, that's probably a little bit of a Kyler thing, just not being able to process as well. He can really only do one thing really well, and that's throw to McBride over the middle against zone, and that's kind of what we're looking at again here.
Yeah, no doubt. Although his prop is pretty...
I know. I saw that too, John. It's fun. I was like, man, that's low for him. Well, it really only needs 3 targets to get there.
Yeah.
That's
all right. Well,
dang.
Yeah, 47.5, right?
I thought it was lower than that.
Might have been.
Quite frankly, I thought I could have sworn I saw like a 44. I could be incorrect there, but it's definitely under 50. Definitely under 50, which is pretty low. All right, let's move on. Oh, and Graham, real quick, Cooper Kupp, yes or no?
Oh, it's over. It's over. I think Brett's take on Torrey Horton's just right. Horton's routes came up. Kupp's just, he's clearly the secondary target. Horton kind of gives them a little bit of a different, element to their passing game. He's really good, man. Torrey Horton dynasty managers have to be doing jumping jacks right now.
Another note on Kupp. It's not even that he's terrible. It's just that he's not Cooper Kupp anymore.
Yeah, the separation metrics are way down.
Yeah, it's like the thing that made him so good is he's a long slot receiver that could win vertically. The vertical juice is gone.
Yep.
So everything that's happening for him is within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. You mix that in with the fact that the Seahawks just aren't passing the football. I think they're close to dead last in pass rate over expectation, I think.
Yeah. Yep. They're bottom 5, and it's, you know, I think he's just had too many ankle injuries, man. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said 3 years ago. It's like an aging receiver with a lot of problems with their legs and ankles.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't get any better, unfortunately. Let's move on to Minnesota at Pittsburgh. Well, Brett, go to you. Your thoughts on Carson Wentz. At least he unlocked my guy Hawkinson. Same deal, holding on to the ball, elongated delivery, bad mechanics, but generally it looked all right. What'd you see?
Yeah, it was okay. Listen, if we can get into game scripts where we only got to drop the guy back 20 times to win, I'm sure KOC's doing jumping jacks on the sideline. That's amazing. The defense balled out. Jordan Mason was a stud. I think that protected Wentz a little bit. If they get into game scripts where Wentz is going to have to throw a lot, I'm still pretty concerned. Steelers, though, they kind of stink. They're 2-1, but they kind of stink.
They do stink.
Yeah, I mean, this could be another Jordan Mason game where, the Steelers have been really soft against the run so far.
Totally. Just
play ball control, play good defense, and there's no reason you should have to drop Wentz back more than 30 times in this game.
Absolutely. Graham, I have no say in the matter, but I've already anointed Jordan Mason as the Vikings RB1 for the rest of the season.
I'm with you on that. I was going through the rest of season rankings on the site and basically buried Aaron Jones. Like, he's 30 coming off the hamstring, another hamstring pull. Yeah, he was awesome last week. I will say Pittsburgh has been much better against zone blocking concepts than man and gap blocking concepts. They're allowing just 3.5 yards per carry against zone concepts. Obviously, that's the basis of Kevin O'Connell's run game, running zone.
True.
So it's not like a perfect matchup for Mason, but I don't really think it matters. Like, the Vikings are a fairly run heavy team now. He's been great. The volume's going to be really good. I really don't think it matters.
Do you remember that week 1 game against Chicago where they were struggling to run the ball in the first half? And all of a sudden they just fed it down Chicago's throat? The switch they made in that game was going from outside zone to duo. So I hope
you're right. Yeah.
He's done that before. So I hope against Pittsburgh he sees that and goes, you know what, we're just going to go to a gap scheme real quick and just pound it. So,
by the way, wasn't Mason a gap guy before he went to San Fran, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I think his body style and his running style definitely favors a gap scheme for sure. He's kind of thick.
Yeah.
With 2 C's.
Yeah, but he's moving, man. I'm telling you, he's moving. That O-line, they had a couple runs where I don't think I've seen them block the run that well in a decade, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Addison back as well, but that is a little bit of a problem if we're looking at a low volume passing attack. You got too many good players there with Addison now and Hawkinson, but clearly Wentz is going to be a big positive for Hawkinson. But Brett, do you think they should go back to JJ in a week or two? I mean, it's hard to say because we'll see what Wentz does, but I mean, how do you think this is going to play out?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could watch JJ practice. Obviously he's got the ankle. I think when that heals, is he practicing? Do we know?
No, he's going to miss a couple weeks. It seems like he's out of the boot. I read, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be back for at least maybe week 5.
Yeah, I would imagine maybe. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I personally am more of the fan, but obviously an interested observer at this point, and pending it's still week to week. I think I'd rather just let Wentz stay in here, and if he loses a job, then let JJ come as a potential hero. Because the alternative is you go back to McCarthy right away and it's struggle bus time. Then you got to pull him again. I don't like that at all. So that's just,
I wouldn't put JJ back out there till Darrisaw's back. I know that for sure.
100%. And Jackson. Get Jack because Jackson's now out. Donovan Jackson, who's a stud.
True. Yeah, half the problem is they couldn't protect JJ, and he was already being a little slow with his the way he was reading it out. And so with pressure and slow, that's not a good combo.
Totally. I do believe that JJ would have done well in that game last week in that environment, though. There's no doubt. All right. We're on the same page there. Well, Graham, I mean, my take on the Steelers is it's like, guys, I know you got to play out the string, but you're not going anywhere. Like Their defense isn't very good. Their running game's not good. DK Metcalf is not gaining separation. Rodgers is downfield throws stink. The two tight ends canceling each other out. I mean, other than that, they're great. What do you see with the Steelers?
Yeah, nightmare offense for fantasy outside of Jalen Warren. It's only taken us 4 years to get here, and Caleb Johnson being kind of a slow burning rookie to get here. But man, I mean, Warren 78% of the snaps last week, had a huge role by expected fantasy points, nearly 24 expected fantasy points. John, this is a pretty good matchup. Like, if there's one area where the Vikings are beatable,
True.
It's against zone runs. They're allowing 4.8 yards per carry. I think bottom 5, bottom 8 in success rate on zone. And that's like the whole basis of Arthur Smith's offense. 70% of Jalen Warren's carries have been off zone this year. They have not been able to block particularly well to start the season. But this is a pretty good spot. I'm playing Warren with confidence as an RB2, and that's like the only thing I have confidence in the Steelers offense right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that assessment there. And by the way, for what it's worth, by the way,
your Warren call's looking great, John. That's looking very good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that nobody was on Warren. Like, it wasn't that popular of a pick, huh?
No.
People get rookie drunk.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson was a 6th-round pick. I mean, I was fading Johnson, but not drafting much Warren, and that, fading Johnson was easy, but yeah, should have picked up a few more Warren shares.
Hey, we all have regrets, but I definitely got Warren a boatload of times in my FFPC leagues here. I actually have one league where I have too many running backs now. I took Judkins. And I got like 5 good running backs. I'm like,
that's a good problem to have, because it's going to get dicey here. It's going to get dicey here in a couple of weeks.
True, but I wish I could do some freaking trading. Let's move on then to the next game, which is the DC Commanders at the Falcons. And we don't know, about the quarterback situation. I think this one here has got a total of 44.5. Brett, I'll go to you. Penix. Ooh, boy. I mean, I did not have a warm and fuzzy feeling on him all year. That's why I kept Jake London off my target list, even though I had him on last year. London not doing well against man, it looks like, and they'll see a good amount of man. I don't know. I think a lot more Bijan here, but what's up with Penix?
He looks bad. I mean, objectively bad. The processing issues there, obviously, but then I've always been a critic of his accuracy, and he got labeled as some super accurate quarterback for whatever reason. Yeah. I'm not sure why. And it's the subtleties. Like, his ball location is so poor sometimes. It's like he just it might
not be brutal, but it's like seems like it's always just a little off.
Always, yeah, exactly. So even when he's completing a ball, a guy's having to go down to a knee to grab it, or he's jumping up in the air taking a hit. It's tough to watch. I mean, all of his good passing plays this year have been screens to Bijan Robinson. Every one of them.
Everyone.
They don't have I don't think they have like a legitimately big play downfield to any of the. I think they've got like a 15-yard catch and run from Mooney or Drake London, but nothing downfield. It's crazy. So
seems like the chemistry with Mooney is just completely not there. And
he missed a lot of time, right?
Yeah, so, he had some drops too this past week, but Mooney was their first read, like by far last week. 36% to London's 24%. So
is that, you think, because London's banged up a little bit, or do you just think Mooney's the guy?
Bro, I've been Drake London's like biggest hater for fantasy for 3 years, and I just like this ceiling for him is just not there. And then you mentioned, I thought of you the whole time rewatching that game on Monday. It's like, yeah, Brett was pretty much right on Penix. Like, the ball location is not good, like you were saying, and it's a twofold thing. I think London has just been kind of perceived as this potential number 1 wide receiver for fantasy who can kind of smash top 12 weeks, but he's never been that guy. And the second factor is Darnell Mooney's still really good, like still really, really good. So and these two guys are just wide receiver 2, 3s for the rest of the season. Kyle Pitts, that was fun the first couple of weeks. He was down at a 12% first read for a target share with Mooney back. So yeah, maybe London's not fully healthy with the shoulder injury, but he's been off the injury report. It's scary for this passing offense right now. That's for sure.
Well, remember last week I hated London because of J.C. Horn. Yep. Of course, they're freaking down by 30, and luckily I won the prop. But I think he was on Horn a lot too. That didn't help.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a true shadow, but Horn was definitely on him like at least 60% of the time. So
yeah, and I think he might be an avoid guy. Now looks bad for McLaurin, and I don't know about Debo in this one. Not a great schematic matchup. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna. This game is gonna stink. I think for passing. Graham, any thoughts in general?
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta has been much better this season. Obviously, their pass rush, in my opinion, is a big part of it. They're finally have some decent pass rushers, but by passing fantasy points per game allowed, the Falcons are allowing the second fewest. Vikings are allowing the fewest. So, I mean, this is an offense, John, or excuse me, a defense in the Falcons that we've been targeting for a number of years. They're kind of looking like a sneaky good defense right now.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I don't have a whole lot here. We got to wait on Jaden Daniels. It seems like he's trending up towards playing. No Terry McLaurin most likely with this quad injury. Probably just helps consolidates the targets around Debo and Ertz. But yeah, I'm kind of seeing it the same way as you. This is looking like a kind of a slugfest game.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm just not seeing it with Debo here. I would like to. But looking at the schematics and the individual matchup, maybe a Zach Ertz game. I don't even know, man. We're up to the New Orleans Saints, the Buffalo Bills. I did notice, guys, that we have a total of 48.5. And Brett, I'll go right to you because to me that's a function of Spencer Rattler not sucking. So maybe he has to throw it a lot. It looks like a decent schematic here. So I'm kind of high on Olave. I don't know what we do with Kamara, but Olave and Juwan, I say yes. But what say you about Rattler and the Saints?
Yeah, Rattler, if I could give him props on something, it's that he'll at least run the damn offense. And I think that's something missing with half the starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So that's exciting. He's still going to make like 3 or 4 boneheaded plays a game. You're just like, bro, what are you doing? Yeah. It's going to frustrate you. But for fantasy, it doesn't really matter, right? So, yeah, I mean, he's sustaining a huge target volume, right? Like Olave, what did he have 15 targets last game? I mean, it's ridiculous. Juwan Johnson, I've been playing Juwan Johnson props every week and smashing them every week, so I'll probably continue doing that.
13, he had 13 last week, Olave.
Okay, just 13. Okay, I thought it was more than that, but that's still a lot. Bills defense though, super zone heavy. Obviously, this is going to be his biggest test of the year so far, I think. So they're not a huge pressure team, but their coverage unit's very good. So we'll see what happens here.
He'll probably catch a lot of balls for minimal yardage. Graham, your boy used to be my guy. Rashid Shaheed is Mr. Zone Beater. Any thoughts there?
Yes, he is. I think that was a function of just what that offense was in the past, though. Like he just was so good at getting deep. Rattlers, he's okay, but he's not. Honestly, Derek Carr was a pretty good deep ball thrower. I think we kind of needed to put a little more respect on his name. I'm with you. Rattler's been fine. 78%, catchable throw rate. That's like perfectly average. It's better than Trevor Lawrence right now. At the end of the day, this kind of switching over to the Bills side, this looks like a good spot for Keon Coleman. I have no idea how often the Bills are going to have to throw the ball here. They're huge favorites, getting 16 points, I believe,
16
at home. Just a huge spread. But I like the spot for Keon Coleman. Saints have kind of been sneaky bad against outside wide receivers, giving up the 3rd most fantasy points per game. Only Dallas and Jacksonville have been worse than New Orleans to outside receivers. So, I mean, this is just kind of what Keon Coleman's going to be. I'm afraid for this offense, just very boom or bust. He's going to have some 5 and 6 point games where you are wanting a lot more. And then he's going to have some games where potentially like this one, where he's going to have, 5 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown.
I would have to say, Brett, real quick on that one is, again, the Saints don't play a lot of man nowadays. So that could be another Shakir game.
Yeah, Shakir or Kincaid. It's so hard with Kincaid because the role is just like he's having the Shakir season from 2 years ago where he's going to catch 90% of his targets.
Right.
Like, seriously, at the end of the year, he's going to have like 60 targets and 58 receptions. It's ridiculous. But
it kind of dawned on me this morning when I was writing up start sit. Like I think I was not seeing the forest through the trees with Kincaid to start this year because like you're right. Yeah, the role, like he's only playing 57% of the routes. But when he's out there, like he leads this team in targets per route run, leads the team in yards per route run. So I'm bumping up Kincaid a little bit.
Yeah, he's got 2 top 4 finishes on the season already.
Yep.
I mean, Brett, any thoughts on Kamara? Like, I see runs this year where I know we're bouncing around a little bit this edition, but we're just talking each game. I saw a couple of runs where I'm like, oh, look at that contact bounce is still elite. But then on the other hand, there are other times when I'm wondering if he's toast, but I guess the lack of targets is the biggest problem. But any thoughts on Kamara?
Yeah, I think the contact balance is mostly fine. For me, I think the burst is just starting to leave him a little bit.
Yeah.
But he'll show glimpses every once in a while. You're like, whoa. But yeah, I mean, that offensive line's kind of also not performing super good. So
Right. He doesn't glide like he used to,
Yeah.
like he was a glider.
no
Obviously,
longer a Sindarin elf.
see that right over the head there,
Yeah.
right. But that's okay. That's okay. Let's move on to the Cleveland Browns at the Detroit Lions. I do apologize. I panicked about the Lions after week 1. That was dumb. But we'll see. I mean, there's all indications that we're good to go, as you said, Brett. Right? I mean,
Yeah,
Dan
lift
Campbell's offense, like they're back.
Yeah, they're back. They left us for a couple quarters here, but that's all right. They're back. So yeah, I mean, this is a good test, though, right? I mean, the Browns defense is insane. Their front is scary. They are Mason Graham and Malik Collins playing next to Myles Garrett. Just what they're doing with those guys, all the twists and stunts and delays and sim pressures. It's scary. I mean, they literally tormented Jordan Love last week. It was, I mean, that last pick Jordan Love threw was literally the yips. It's like he had been hit so many times. He just get rid of it. Just chucked it right to a defender.
Wow.
So
yeah, I mean, it looked bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Is there any antidote here? Like, I'm thinking maybe take some JMO shots deep, but I don't know if they can protect.
Lions protection, it's been great
ever
since week 1. So I think
Decker looks good.
Yeah, Decker's good. Panay pitched almost a perfect game against the Ravens. Obviously, the Ravens front isn't as talented, but and then they're running the ball good again. The Lions have now switched. When Dan Campbell first got the job, he was a gap heavy scheme. Then they went heavy zone with Jahmyr Gibbs' emergence. Now they're back to gap. Duo, tons of duo. I think that's the right combo for Cleveland. So they should be able to run the ball, hit those play action shots. It does seem like it's Amon-Ra's year again. Or they have all these JMO packages I saw in the summer that they have not unveiled yet. So I think they're waiting for the right opportunity for that. Maybe this is the week, but I doubt that they get too crazy here. I think they're just going to play their ball, run it down their throat, and Amon-Ra to death.
Yeah, this might be a little boring here, Graham. Any thoughts on how about Judkins though? Oh my God, our guy. That's our guy.
Yeah,
he looks unbelievable.
I am feeling very good about my Judkins call this year. Had him very high, full on bell cow week 3. I mean, they just gave him the job. Okay, maybe not bell cow, 58% of the snaps, but he, workhorse role, got 18 carries. Sampson is the only other guy who had a carry. What I thought was really positive, and this is what will take him to bell cow status, is him playing more in the passing game than Jerome Ford. He ran one more route than Ford did. I fully expect that to continue. I mean, they've been trying to replace Jerome Ford now for 2 years. Huge role for Judkins is incoming. I mean, you're just going to have to take your lumps. I'm afraid with this offense, we'll eventually get one of these rookies too. Flacco's time is going to come. I really like this spot for Jared Goff. Like, this is strength on strength for sure. Browns have the best run defense in the NFL right now, allowing just 2.2 yards per carry. We were on that last week with Josh Jacobs. They bottled him up. Detroit, definitely a little better running team than Green Bay, that's for sure. But strength on strength, Goff as a favorite, like especially home favorite, has just been like nails for fantasy.
Good point.
He's just like, dude, he's like the easiest fade when they're underdogs. Huge favorite at home. He's just awesome.
I'm kind of feeling JMO then, to your point, because
oh my God,
freaking what's his face? The 2 corners, Greg Newsome. I mean, I thought Greg Newsome was awesome like 3 years ago, but all of them give up big plays going back to last year.
Well, their front is so good. Like Brett was saying, they're great against the run. They're giving up yards in the passing game because that's like the only way you can really move it against them right now. And it's still like kind of, it's rough sledding. John, I had a JMO prop last week. I had him 48.5 over, and he got 43 on the first drive and didn't
first
get another
plays.
God.
First 2 freaking plays.
I went 1 and 3. I had Laporta. We're looking good. Nope. Lamar. Forget it.
I don't tilt bad beats. Like it's gambling. It's what it is. But that one was pretty tilting.
You get 50% of your prop on the first 2 plays. You're like, oh, that's an easy cash. And then
it's just like Devontae last week.
Yeah, it's another one.
Thought we were in. I think the worst beat of the week had to be that Jordan Mason over 17.5 carries. I'm sorry. I'm still pissed off.
It's just
about
they
that.
got smoked. I mean, the Bengals didn't show up.
Yeah.
I lost 2 props on that because I lost the chase prop, but that's neither here nor there. I don't have a warm and fuzzy feeling about the Browns, though, otherwise. Like, Fannon's already falling back. They're canceling each other out, Graham.
Yeah.
Judy. I like Tillman. I do, but like he's just not good enough.
He's not. He's getting replaced by Isaiah Bond. Bond's route share has come up in 3 straight games. Tillman's has declined. I would be bailing on Tillman if I had him in fantasy. I don't really have much Tillman. I drafted him a bunch in best ball just thinking he was cheap, but
Bond is different, guys. He moves different. Like watching him run routes is special. Like he is. Whoo. They can find a quarterback to throw him the freaking ball. That's going to be nice.
I thought he was better than Matthew Golden coming out.
So did I.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's head on over to, oh boy, this will be quick. Tennessee at Houston. Oh, man. I mean, it's just a broken record, Brett, with the Houston offense. But what did you see in terms of getting Kirk back? Did that change Nico's role at all? Unlock him potentially? Or are we looking at a little bit of a quagmire?
No, I think what we're finding out is Nick Caley is a Ponzi scheme. He's a downgrade from Bobby Slowick. I know Stroud basically fired Bobby Slowick. I'm telling you, Nick Caley is not as good of a coordinator. Nico Collins saved Stroud's day too with the double move he put on whoever that corner was for Jackson. It wasn't Tyson Campbell, was it? No, you know what I'm talking about, Graham? He hit that little out and up.
On the left side, right?
Yeah, for the 50-yard touchdown. I mean, he crushed that. If that play doesn't happen, Stroud's day looks horrendous.
Right.
Like 150 yards on 38 dropbacks bad. So,
I mean, there's almost no hope here, Graham. I mean, I don't know. What about Woody Marks?
Yeah, Marks' role has come up. I think they've got to try to find something with this run game. Chubb is just kind of a plotter at this point.
50% of the snaps.
Yeah, it came way up. He's trending up for sure, but it'll just be a committee until they get Mixon back. The one note I had is, I mean, at least Collins' average depth of target is up. It's back up to 12 yards last 2 games. He's just getting a huge workload, 11 targets, air yards, huge share of the air yards as well. Had 8 for 104 last week. He's the only must start in this game. I popped in Christian Kirk as a flex play. At least he got 67% of the routes in his first game, 7 targets. Travis Hunter locked him down on a few plays, though. Much easier matchup here against the Titans.
Oh, wow. Travis Hunter locking down Kirk. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I missed that.
Why is Xavier Hutchinson playing over Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll? They got another guy, or Justin Watson. Like, what is going on?
I mean, to your point, that's just a coaching thing. Like,
Higgins, demands the snaps. You see him out there, guy looks like he can be a needle mover out there.
I understand wanting to make your rookie earn it, but then there's a point where it's just like getting them the time on task and getting them the reps is just way more important. Like, what you have in Xavier Hutchinson. Like,
they should have used
get Higgins
Noel
out there and see what you got. Like,
yeah,
they should have used Noel 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Like, of course, I'm bitter because I got over 5.5 yards. I thought he'd catch a ball, but they didn't play him. Tennessee on that side of things. Brett, give us the latest on Cam Ward, and we're not expecting Ridley to do crap because he's going to see Stingley. So Aya Manor again, and I guess we're forced to funnel to the tight ends a little Gunnar Helm action. I see.
Yeah, thank God Gunnar Helm can ball, right?
I love Gunnar Helm.
I killed him in my pre-draft rankings because of his athletic testing. I was probably a little too harsh on him there because I thought the tape was really good. So. Yeah, Ward he's just not. I mean, he's playing like a rookie. Nothing too bad, nothing too good. This is a tough matchup, obviously. Houston's a house of horror defense. So, Will Anderson Jr. is coming to his own as a pass rusher. He's a monster. And then Lassiter and Stingley is probably the best CB duo in the league. Because I know Ayumanor is going to get Lassiter, but Lassiter can ball too. So Also, I'll just say Scott Bear after week 1 had a Alec Ayumanor tweet. He got clowned for it, and through 3 games, he's still He's got the same amount of targets as Lockett and way more production. So
You got clown for it?
yeah, people were just saying the only reason Ayumanor was targeted because Surtain was on Ridley. And sorry, I don't know if I said Tyler Lockett a minute ago on accident. But yeah, and through 3 weeks, that's pretty much held. Ayumanor is just as involved as Ridley is. So
yeah, I mean, I wrote we're 17.5% through the season, and Ayumanor looks like the one.
Yep, he does.
Anything, Graham, that we missed that pops out at you? I'm sure it's not really much with the Titan offense. Tony Pollard. Yeah. How much can Tajay Spears help? I feel like they need Spears.
Well, this is one more week. Actually, 2 more weeks of Pollard, bell cow. Spears will be back week 5. I don't have much
working out for Pollard either. That sucks. You have it all to yourself, and it's just not really.
I mean, they've got a bottom 5 offensive line. It's not looking good.
They shouldn't, though.
They shouldn't. They have 3 number 1 picks.
Yeah. I mean, they're not blocked well. By our yards before contact numbers, I mean, they are just not.
Somebody get them an offensive line guru. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, Callahan's the next coach fired for sure.
He will be the first coach fired. Yeah, 1.4 yards before contact for Pollard. So it's below average, but not terrible. Yeah, I mean, I just think they're a struggling offense. It's just, their passing game is not good right now. So it's a lot easier to take away the run when, there's not much of a threat of a passing game.
Let's go to Carolina at the New England Patriots. And Brett, I'll go to you with our weekly Drake May report. Seems like he's doing all right. Receiving core is annoying as hell, but I feel like they hung in there for the first 3 games, and now, now we can probably continue to grow, maybe slowly, but pretty decent.
Yeah, from my vantage point, what I see from May is better decision making, running the offense a little better, but he's also morphing into one of these guys, and we knew he could do this, but he can create production out of thin air, and that's where he really is special. He has that Josh Allen playmaking trait. It's not quite that developed yet, but we're getting there. And I feel like what he's doing with the little that he has is impressive. He's got to cut down on the turnovers, obviously, taking a few too many sacks, fumbling, and then the picks. But I'm impressed with what I've seen so far.
Graham, Travion Henderson, obviously the most obvious buy low, I guess, of all time. Yeah. But I mean, are you in on that notion, or are you some trepidation there?
I'm buying low. I was just saying that with Theo on our podcast that we do on Wednesdays here. Like, he's still just an obvious buy low. I kind of viewed this as like, this will be a Stevenson Henderson committee. What I didn't expect is that Henderson, kind of get, a little short-sighted in the passing game. But yeah, Henderson got 48% of the snaps, 11 carries last week. Stevenson just can't stop fumbling. This is an awesome spot, like perfect matchup to kind of cement his status. Henderson's status is the 1A. Panthers are really bad against the run again, John. 5.1 yards per carry allowed. That's 3rd most. Getting Derek Brown back has just not mattered. I mean, they're just a really, really bad run defense.
It does seem like, Brett, that they, after the fumbles, that they kind of just transitioned Ramondre over to like a 3rd down role. Yeah. Like they kind of want him on the field, but they don't want to hand him the ball, I guess.
Yeah, that's for sure. The second week in a row, they soft benched one of their running backs for whatever. Yeah, it's weird because Travion's so good in the pass game. I don't know. I can't make sense of it, but
I think Henderson got benched in week 2 because he got weirdly blown up a couple times in pass protection, which is just was his biggest strong suit coming out.
I mentioned that last week. Yeah, he got Drake May killed twice, and they basically benched him. And then this week, Ramondre fumbles twice,
right?
And he's not giving him the ball anymore. But they're still throwing to him. I don't know.
For the record, Hunter Henry is catching 3 balls for 24. This week.
Because everyone's jazzed up about him, so now that's
Well, again, this is what Hunter Henry does. I loved Hunter Henry coming out. I was a big time apologist. There have been moments where I've been in on him, but I get so frustrating, Graham. I mean, are you buying it?
Yeah, I've been writing up Henry as like a good streamer. I think every week in my Start Sit article, except for last week, he finally got there. Just, you're right. It's like whack-a-mole with this
I
guy.
think he's a matchup guy. I mean, more.
I don't know. 2 weeks ago they got Hooper a little more involved. The usage did come up. Henry did run a season high in route share. You love to see that. I think he was around 78%. That's a huge workload for a tight end. They're just going to play a ton of 12 though, John, because these receivers stink. Like, it's over for Stephon Diggs. Yeah. We like Kayshon Boutte a little bit. He's leading this team in route share, but not earning the targets as much. No. They're just a 12 personnel team. To me, this screams like we got to get this run game going. We got to get Trevion Henderson going.
100%. What about Chuba on the other side? Because if Chuba doesn't have a big day when they win 30-0, we have a problem, because Chuba has been Mr. Ice the game kind of win dude. Your thoughts there? Are you worried about Dowdle chipping into the backfield?
I am a little worried about Chuba for sure. I mean, like you said, we've been, kind of banking on the volume, and it still was pretty good last week. Got 17 carries, got 3 targets. Rico did come in and get the goal line stuff. Funky game script too. I mean, the Falcons, they had to pick 6. The game was kind of iced early. Maybe they were just like, hey, Chuba's going to be our guy for the rest of the season. Let's get Rico in there.
That's true.
For this spot, man, it's a little scary. They're down 2 offensive linemen. Their best offensive lineman too, center and guard. Yeah. He's like a volume-based RB2. I think we were hoping to get like a back-end RB1 type season out of him just based on volume, but I think he's more of a low-end RB2 now.
Brett, if Gonzalez goes, do you think they'll just shadow him on Tet?
Probably not in his first game back.
Right.
But that they'll definitely be shadowing later in the season. I would imagine they don't want to shadow right away. He probably doesn't even play every snap, for being honest. But
anything on Bryce Young last game or two? Or?
He stinks.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, they didn't have to do much in that last game.
No.
I mean, they don't have anything around him, so I feel like he could be all right if they had a better offense. But like, it's just, man, they're bare. The cupboard is bare, but he's also small, and that, moving away from the pocket a little bit too much is not good. Let's move on to the Chargers and the Giants. And Brett, you and I were talking about this one earlier. Does seem like, obviously we're going with Dart, and it does seem like let's get Cam Scatterboo going as much as we can. As much as we could take off of Dart's plate with Scatterboo, the better. Your thoughts, Scatterboo? What's the stick-to-itiveness of Scatterboo? Like, from what you've seen, like, is this going to stick all year? I say, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they drafted him to not play, right? I mean, now Tracy's out, so he's going to get a good workload. The Chargers are not very good against the run, actually. This was true last year. They're giving up over 5 yards a carry this year. And they're a really bad tackling football team. They've got 17 missed tackles in the run game already this year. A bunch more in the pass game. So I think Scatterboo is going to eat in this game personally, and especially just because Jackson Dart's first start. Like, they are going to emphasize, ball control and running the football to give Dart those play action looks. You're going to see a ton of screens of Scatterboo too. You saw this in the preseason with Dart, where so like a really cool screen package they were running that they didn't do with Russ when the season started. Wow. So I think that's coming back.
You think Scatterboo might get more looks in the passing game from Dart than Russ?
Yeah, for sure. The ball handling that Dart was doing with some of these screens just is this stuff Russ doesn't do.
Right. True.
I think the screen packages they're going to put in this week is really nice, and I think Scatterboo's going to get a lot of that. Wandell will get some too. Malik will get some as well, but I expect a lot of short. The thing about Dart versus Russ is he'll run the offense. It's like Dable wants to be high pace and RPO based, quick decisions, quick game. All that, and Dart's just a master at all that stuff. So it's going to be a lot of quick, short throws, and then they'll take those play action shots after they set it all up. So
yeah, that'll help Scatterboo overall. Graham, real quick, who'd you rather have going forward, Amarin Hampton or Trey Benson?
Ooh, I was doing the rest of season rankings and stared at this one. I have Hampton over Benson. It's close though.
Yeah, I agree.
Benson, I've got 2-3 spots behind Hampton. Yeah. I think that's about right. Hampton's role, man, is just going to be awesome. And for this week specifically, the Giants, they have a good front seven in terms of rushing the passer, but their run defense has been really bad to start the season, like really, really bad. Mm-hmm. Giants allowing 6.7 yards per carry. John, against gap concepts, that's all Lamar and Hampton's game. Get him pointed in the right gap, let him go. They're just getting smoked on the ground. So good spot for Hampton to kind of, regain our confidence, keep this kind of positive momentum going after having his best game of his early career so far.
And Brett, Quentin Johnston, like, this is kind of real.
It's real. It's very real.
It's totally real. I mean, physically gifted guy, and it's starting to show more and more at the expense of Ladd McConkey, because I hate to say it, because I love Ladd, but I did think he was a little overvalued this year. And I don't know. I don't know if we're ever going to get that volume we got, or we kind of thought we might still get, or we got last year with Keenan Allen. But man, this passing attack looks pretty damn good right now overall.
Looks awesome. Yeah. And go back to the top of the show when I was talking JSN and that new consolidated route concept metric that we're using here at Fantasy Points Data. Quentin Johnston leads all receivers in those opportunities. Like 17% of his runs are coming on those opportunities, and he's been the primary in all of them. So again, that increases his implied target rate by 66% on those plays. So even if he isn't targeted on other plays, just those plays alone is enough to sustain him in fantasy, which is kind of crazy to think about. But he's been their go-to man beater as well. When Herbert sees man or match coverage, he's immediately finding Quentin Johnston and going for him. So,
but how much of that is downfield?
That's the other thing that's really impressive, and why I think this is here to stay. His route tree it's really well mixed. It's really not all deep like it was the last 2 years. It's a lot of 44% intermediate routes.
Crossovers.
44% horizontally breaking routes. He's running the Nico Collins route tree, actually, is what he's doing, which is, I mean, he's not getting that volume, obviously, but he is running that route tree, and that's the number one receiver in that offense. So, and it will slowly slide back to Ladd, I think, at a certain point. But right now, teams aren't really giving Quentin the respect, so he's getting all of the love here.
I'll go one more back to you, Brett, because you were Mr. Jackson Dart, but the ramifications for Malik Neighbors, is this upgrade, downgrade, lateral move for the next 3-4 games? I know it's a tough call, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so like gun to my head, I think it's a massive upgrade. I mean, just look in the data suite, go to advanced passing, sort by catchable ball rate. Russell Wilson's last in the league. Right. Highly accurate throw rates, terrible. The turnovers were bad. So yeah, the only concern I would have is that Dable scales back the pass rate just a little bit, just because it's a rookie. But yeah, I mean, this is huge for Malik Neighbors. I mean, Dart's a really good downfield passer too. So I think he'll get more favorable opportunities, and then he'll still get the downfield stuff that we want.
Anything we left off here, Graham?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add with Dart is for fantasy only. Like, he's picked up in every super flex league. I think there's a little streaming juice here at the end of the season. Like, we could be looking at Dart as like a low end quarterback one for fantasy. He averaged over 30 yards per game as a starter on the ground in 3 straight seasons at Ole Miss. Also had 14 rushing touchdowns. I think there's some sneaky, like, low end rushing upside here too that they could kind of layer in with this offense. Maybe not design stuff so much, but he can definitely extend plays, scramble. Brett, I think I want to talk to you this February about Dart. You were like, his ceiling is Baker Mayfield, and Mayfield is obviously one of the best, pocket creators in the NFL right now.
Yeah, Dart had 50 explosive runs his last 2 years as a starter.
That's awesome.
50. That's insane for a quarterback.
Oh, he definitely moves. I mean, he looks like he's in like 2x speed compared to Russ Wilson on the field. And we're up to the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got a total of 43.5. I've been writing, Graham, that the Eagles need to be drug from the leather helmet era. They need to be dragged out of it, and in the form of a 18-point lead by the opponent in the second half. They're not gonna open it up unless they're down, I guess. That's it, right? So what are your thoughts? Would you sell AJ Brown or Devontae Smith?
Yeah, that's the thing, John. I mean, we kind of said it last week, is like, can the Rams push the Eagles? And that answer was clearly yes. And Jalen Hurts just answered the bell. I mean, he was incredible in that second half. I mean, just pretty much made every throw he needed to. Made some huge down the field throws, obviously. Sacks are still a problem, but yeah, I mean, I think this is another spot where the Bucs can push them a little bit, right? This game's in Tampa, 3.5-point short road favorites coming off that big, comeback win. I could see this kind of being a similar spot. Baker gets Tristan Wirfs back. I think Chris Godwin's going to play. So yeah, no Mike Evans. That sucks, but it seems like Godwin's trending up towards playing. I don't expect him to have a big role by any means. You're not playing Godwin in your seasonal lineups this week just because he's probably going to be a little limited, but at least he'll have Wirfs back, Godwin in there. Mika Egbuka played a limited role last week. He was hurt with I think they're calling it like an oblique injury, but he should be full go. The total here is a little low to me. I think these two offenses deserve a little more respect. Obviously, Eagles have a great defense still. Bucs are playing pretty good run defense, especially against the run to start this year. Yeah, but yeah, I think this game total looks a little low to me too.
I don't want to disparage Baker Mayfield in any way, shape, or form at this point. I'm literally afraid to doubt that guy. But, Brett, we got Godwin going to see a lot of Dijon. You got Quinion Mitchell out there. In theory, he could lock down, one of the outside spots. No Big Mike. I don't know. Any thoughts here? And, Saquon and the Eagle running game, it's like they stink. They got one of the worst running games with the running backs in the league right now. How much of that, by the way, is just stacking a box?
Oh man, yeah. Baker, the deck is stacked against him, and it has been all season though.
Yeah, true.
That's what they're down 4 starters on the offensive line.
It's incredible, man.
I mean, they might get Wirfs back this week. They might not either. But I like you. I don't want to disparage Baker Mayfield. He's the new Terminator. What he's doing in fourth quarter of games is just incredible. Going back to last year, even so. But yeah, this isn't a good matchup for him by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, I'm not super interested in anything here because of that. But I don't want to doubt Baker Mayfield. So I'll probably find a way to be good. I just don't know where it's going to come from.
I played a Mayfield rushing prop because they're playing the Jets, and I'm like, you know what? He's going to take off multiple times on third down.
Yeah,
and then they had the lead, and I'm like, oh crap, I lost it. And then I look, oh no, he just ripped off a 22-yarder at the end of the game. I love that guy. Graham, anything here? What are you doing with? Are you just plugging in Devontae Smith and AJ Brown? Maybe Brown.
Yeah, Brown for sure. He's still the alpha. Smith, I have him as a flex play. I think this is just kind of what he's been, just like wide receiver, low end wide receiver, 4 levels of volume for the reasons you kind of lined up when we started talking about this game. It's just, they're going to be pretty balanced, leaning towards a run heavy. Brown is still a really good wide receiver too. John, what's your vibe on Dallas Goedert this week? He's somebody I'm struggling with right now.
I thought it was a slam dunk. The prop, I played the prop. That's I'm like 34. Oh yeah. Nice. Gets a 31-yarder. I'm like, let's go. And that was it. I don't know what to think.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm struggling with Goddard too this week.
But then again, if this is a game where they don't open it all up, Goddard could be the go-to guy.
He could be. Bucs have been pretty good against tight ends to start this season. Again, they haven't really faced anybody, Kyle Pitts, Dalton Schultz, Mason Taylor. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about Brown. Obviously, he's fully back. Smith is kind of the same way, but Goddard's like the one guy. I haven't decided what I want to do with him just yet.
Yeah, I have no idea. The Eagles are coming under fire a little bit. Good. I saw Drew Brees ripped them. Good. Let's manifest them. Manifest change. But I don't know if that's going to happen without Shane Steichen or Kellen Moore there. And of course, Bucky. I don't know what they're doing with Rashad in the backfield. By the way, like the week before, he looked like a world beater. Then last week they really didn't give him anything. So I don't know. I don't know what to think there. Indianapolis at the LA Rams. I know what to think here. I think this one could be a high-scoring affair, quite frankly, Brett, because we got a total of 49.5. That's big. A big test for Daniel Dimes. But I think Stafford and those outside receivers can light it up. So I'm thinking a little shootout here, Brett.
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be Daniel Jones's biggest test of the season so far from a defensive standpoint. So
bigger than Denver?
Denver's showed some warts,
Right.
I think Denver will eventually get it right, but yeah, right now I think the Rams defense is playing a little bit better. So, although they are starting Emmanuel Forbes at corner right now, which is not good, especially for a guy like Michael Pittman, who outweighs him by literally 60, 70 pounds.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Pittman because I like him, and because Alec Pierce, Graham probably won't play. Not a great spot for Downs, so I think it's Pittman game.
Yeah, this is an awesome spot for Pittman. Like you mentioned, Pierce is in concussion protocol. We're going to get some AD Mitchell this week, which is always fun. He puts some sick routes on tape. It's just whether or not he catches the ball or not. But yeah, like Brett said, I think this is a tougher spot right now. Broncos are, I think by the end of the year, we're going to look up and be like, oh, the Broncos are still a top 3 defense. Rams are 6th best right now in pressure rate. They're getting after it. Their sack rate's nearly 11%. They're not having to blitz a ton either. Obviously, they're just getting there, organically with their 4 and 5 man fronts. It's going to be a tough spot for Daniel Jones. But man, I called him Daniel Nichols for a long time just because I didn't think he ever deserved the nickname that he got. Bro, he's got it now. He's Dan Dimes. He's got 3 straight top 12 scoring weeks for fantasy. I'm going right back to him. Even tougher spot, but this is a high scoring game environment like you lined up. There aren't many like smoke 'em if you got 'em games this week. We kind of nailed that with Lions Ravens. That was a smoke 'em if you got 'em game. Only guy who really didn't get there was Zay Flowers. This is a smoke 'em if you got 'em game. Just line up all your Colts and Rams.
Brett, I think it was last week. Danny Dimes threw a ball over the middle that was a missile.
Yeah.
I was like,
he's playing with so much confidence. Like it's night and day.
I'm like, my thought was like the voice in my head is like, Daniel Jones is maybe the best quarterback in the NFL this year.
I think Scott Barrett texted me when he saw that throw and was like, give me 3 reasons why Daniel Jones wins MVP this year.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he's playing out of his mind. Confidence a thing, and also he looks cerebral, like no emotion, like a robot. Like he's just
beautiful.
I'm out here to do business.
That's who the big robot was back in the day. I call him a robot. Eli Manning used to call him a robot.
I think it's a coaching thing. Like Dable's a little bit of a hothead, and I just could see their personalities not totally jiving. Steichen's that even keeled, like a little more cerebral. I think that's a big part of it. Like
that's a great point.
It's just like these 2 personalities are kind of meshing right now.
But Steichen is also better than Daboll.
Period.
I mean, we've seen it with the developing of the young quarterbacks and all that. And I don't even think Daboll himself gets the credit for Josh Allen. He didn't clean up his mechanics. That was somebody else. But
that was Ken Dorsey,
yeah. Let's see. We've got that. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Real quick, man, I think Blake Corum again, Brett. Again, he looks really good. Not that really matters for Kyron right now, but Blake Corum looks great.
Yeah, he does. I think we're kind of slowly working into 2 running backs mattering here.
Yeah.
He's just the burst compared to Kyron it's different.
That's what I mean.
When you see him get a couple carries right after Kyron, you're like, whoa, that looks real different.
That's what it is. Yep. Jacksonville at San Fran. I like this total, 47.5. And I think, Brett, that no Bosa is huge because you've said it for 3 years. If you can protect against the Niners, you can throw on them. And, Lawrence, you got to give him some space back there. How important is that injury? And, let's check in on BTJ. He made that one big play on a downfield throw, but he's getting like air yard throws, but he's not getting these layups.
Yeah. 0 layups. I mean, literally no design targets right now. I think one of the big talking points in the offseason for me was for BTJ to sustain that, high-end wide receiver 1, they have to start getting him some of those. But those are going to Hunter. Even now, Hunter's wide receiver routes are going way down, but the design stuff is still there for him. So, but that Nick Bosa injury is huge. And I should have pulled it before the show. I totally forgot. The on-off splits with Bosa and that 49ers defense is wild. Right. It's like Micah Parsons, Cowboys-ish. I mean, it's that crazy. Where when he is not on the field, this defense gets got badly. Yeah. So you could probably run on them this week. You can probably throw on them this week. It's just Trevor Lawrence though. So like I don't know how much confidence. I'll let Graham speak on that.
Yeah. Graham, I've been singing all week. I don't know if you saw the clip, but my sleeper tight end was Mr. Strange in terms of a classic sleeper, and I just keep singing to the song, to the tune of the Doors song, Brendan Strange. No one remembers his name because nobody cared about that guy. And drafts, his ADP was like infinity. And I don't know. I guess it's week to week, but my analysis was I don't think Lawrence is very good, and he's just going to be checking it down to this big body running after the catch guy a lot more than people think. It seems to be happening 2 out of the 3 games. But your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts with Lawrence are kind of the same they've been for the last 3 years. This year he's locking onto his first read at an insanely high rate. I wish he would check down a little more to Brenton Strange, honestly, because it's open. It's been there. Right. It's just inconsistent with him, man. I mean, there's the game-winning throw where they flipped the field to BTJ. Like that was an awesome throw. Window throw. That was a
great throw, yeah.
Anticipation was all there, but then you watch the full game, right? Like there's 5 or 6 throws where he just straight up missed. Like they had a deep ball to De'Ami Brown that was wide open. Brown got over the top. He missed it by a mile. They had a little like out route Bashal Tootin that I think Tootin probably could have picked up 25 yards on. He was already like got leverage on his defender. There was nobody behind him. Wide open, easy throw. Lawrence missed it. It's just he's so inconsistent from play to play, week to week.
That's why I go lean toward a big body tight end guy for him.
Yeah, I know. And I think with Hunter, like Brett was saying, Hunter's playing more defense because he's needed on both sides of the ball. But right now, you look at our adjusted net yards per pass attempt on throws over 10 air yards right now. Trevor Lawrence is 34th. Not great. Only J.J. McCarthy, Joe Flacco, and Jake Browning are worse. It's the same thing we keep talking about with Lawrence. It's just there's the one big play, 2 big plays a game, but then there's that 5 or 6, 7, 8 throws on that he's leaving on the field right now, and it's been consistent. Like Brian Thomas is not playing well. He's not the same guy he was in his rookie season. He had another bad drop last week, but yeah, it's just if Lawrence gets a little more consistent, we're gonna just keep talking about the same thing with the Jags, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I do feel like Brian Thomas will be all right, but I mean, this is what he is. Like, and Brett, how many more games do you need to see him in this season to believe that? Well, okay, I guess Liam Cohen is not going to fix him.
Gosh, it's too soon probably for me to do
it's
that.
Definitely too soon now, but maybe by Thanksgiving it won't be.
Yeah, it's concerning that the same issue with Lawrence just plays everything too fast. It's been the issue since he was drafted, and like Graham said, ridiculously high first read rate. So it is concerning that hasn't changed at all. It's like, because what are they working on all this offseason? That's got to be the one thing Cohen's seeing, but he's not getting through to his quarterback yet. So that is definitely concerning, but I'll give it a little more time before I fully bury it.
I almost feel like Travis Hunter might be a real problem here, because if we feel compelled to get him those horizontal design targets at the expense of BTJ, maybe that's got a little ripple effect and we're all screwed, basically. Thanks for nothing. But we'll see how we feel about that in another game or two. Looks like we're going to get Brock Purdy back. I don't know, Graham, about Jawan Jennings, but I do know this. Ricky can go. That I know. Ricky can go.
Yeah.
And we're rolling with him. He's a must start at this point. Like, stop sending us, should I start Ricky? At least for now, week to week. But as of now, the answer is yes, start Ricky. But what do you say?
I'm with you, and especially this week. Jags are not good deep, defending deep balls. Purdy should be back. It seems like he's trending towards that way. This game has some sneaky shootout appeal if Trevor Lawrence can play his best game of the year. Because right now, like I said, if the Jags can push, Niners are slight favorites. This game has some back and forth upside for sure. We'll see on Jennings. He seemed, not close to playing last week. Didn't practice at all. He's been dealing with, I think, now 3 different injuries. But I mean, I'm with you. Pearsall's must-start category for me as well.
Yeah, nothing at tight end, man. Like, nothing going on there. So it's they got a really small ass target tree there. And we'll see about Purdy. Moving on to Baltimore at Kansas City. Well, something's got to give here, Brett, because the Chief offense stinks and the Ravens defense stinks. But 48.5, think we're probably gonna get some action here. Anything jump out at you, Mark Andrews, perhaps?
I like all the Ravens. I think Zay might have a tough game, but I like Bateman. I like Andrews. I like Henry. I have a hard time believing. Like I'll never bet against Mahomes at home, but I kind of just feel like the Ravens are going to smash them.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
they're just a more complete football team. Like both sides of the ball. Like the Ravens pass rush is not very good. Mahomes is going to be able to do Mahomes things back there. Mahomes' deep ball has not been as good, but like at the end of the day, like it's the same thing we've been talking about for 2 years. I feel like we've been broken records. They don't run the ball. They can't run the ball. They just they have no run game. So it's going to be one of those years. Like John, I kind of liken to it. Do you remember Justin Herbert 2 years ago or 3 years ago, maybe, where he was dropping back like 45 times per game and like was a back end QB1? Like that's kind of what we're looking at with Mahomes. It's like they have nothing else. Maybe we'll get Xavier Worthy back into the mix. I think they held Worthy out for that Giants game, just knowing that we can beat the Giants without Worthy. We've got to get him for this Ravens game though, because they could go to 1-3 and just be like looking pretty dicey for AFC. I mean, the AFC is really competitive, obviously.
Well, the Chargers are about to be 4-0. So
yeah,
you go to
I picked the Broncos to win this division, and I really wish now I picked the Chargers, but I knew that, like, this was the end of the Chiefs window, and I still feel that way.
Yeah. I mean,
they'll have another window. The Chiefs will have another window.
Yeah.
But this is the end of the current one.
I mean, Mahomes just turned 30. It's crazy.
Exactly.
It feels like he's 37.
Yeah.
At least Tyquan Thornton's doing some stuff. I know it's ugly, but he's holding on to them downfield throws. He's made like 3-4 big plays this year, dating back to the preseason.
Hey, Brett, can I ask you why you're down on Zay in this spot?
Justin Watson and Trent McDuffie have just been locked down.
Okay.
Justin Watson, Jalen Watson.
Yeah.
I got you. They've been.
He's given up like 0.14. He's very nothing.
It's the other corner spot you can take advantage of. The safeties, the linebackers aren't good in coverage. So it's why I think Andrews too.
Okay.
Chiefs can't cover tight ends, so
we should get Isaiah Likely back in the spot. Obviously, he'll be very limited coming off a foot injury, but I think he's trending towards playing.
Yeah, and I guess we'll go right back to last year's roles because apparently Mark Andrews is not toast, as we learned on Monday.
Yeah, you were right about that one, Brett. I will say, I mean, there's 17 full games together last year. It was very close in targets. Likely had 65. Andrews had 70. I think it'll be very close again, but by midseason, not for the first couple games, because Likely's obviously coming back from the foot injury.
Oh boy, Chicago Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders. And Brett, I mean, tell me it's not true, but I think Caleb Williams has a chance to put up really good fantasy numbers and put out really bad tape. Basically.
I mean, if he's playing the Cowboys every week, that's for sure. That tape from that game, Caleb Williams was objectively terrible in that football game. He had 4 touchdowns on busted coverages. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of the NFL. All 4 of his touchdowns came on a busted coverage, which is just insane. But the amount of misses on his tape in that game, like he still only threw like 62%, completed 62% of his passes, which is crazy considering how bad the Cowboys are. But the Raiders, obviously another poor defense here, so he's going to have another shot to do it again. They're not going to bust as much as the Cowboys did, but they're going to stink. So, he's got a shot.
So then you would sell high? Would you sell high on Caleb in fantasy right now?
You're probably asking the wrong guy because I'm just not a Caleb guy. I think he's objectively terrible. So
I would. I mean, I don't think this is sustainable. Like so the one thing that he has as an out is obviously his legs. He's a legitimately good like play extender and scrambler. But you look at his metrics throwing down the field, kind of like what Brett was saying, on throws 10 or more yards downfield, Caleb Williams has an off-target throw rate of 24%. It means nearly one of every 4 throws that he's throwing down the field are off-target. Right now, only Bo Nix, Geno Smith, and Jake Browning are worse, and Jake Browning's only played in 1.5 games. So he's the 4th, 5th worst quarterback throwing down the field. And like we were just saying, I mean, Cowboys, we're going to be playing every quarterback against the Cowboys that we can. It does scare me a little bit for my guy Rome Odunze. I was super high on Odunze, and I'm still going to remain high on Odunze. I just think he's so much better at the wide receiver stuff than DJ Moore. That being said, for this spot specifically, I think this is like, it's kind of got some gross shootout appeal where like Geno throws a pick, Caleb Williams throws a pick, but this, you look up and there's like 55 points in this game. Bears are really bad in the back end. Like, we've been picking on the Cowboys this whole show, but like the Bears are just as bad, at least by passing fantasy points allowed per dropback. They're allowing 0.6. This is tied with the Cowboys for the worst. Geno Smith's a pretty good streamer this week. Like, if you're in need of a streaming quarterback, like you're just absolutely desperate, I think Geno's a pretty good play. Jalen Johnson, obviously, he's on IR. Kyler Gordon's been hurt. Brett, I got to ask you, man. I've been wanting to ask you all week about Bowers. He looks legitimately slow to me. Like, the get off is not there. He has no burst off the line of scrimmage right now.
Yeah, the get off is not there. It's just also the roll so trash. This was my issue with everyone thinking, he could even go higher than he went last year. It's just everything he did was a dump off. All of his production last year was a dump off. He had like one deep ball against the Chiefs.
It's like a high volume slot receiver.
Yeah, and it's even trashier than slot. It's like check downs and screens. Right. It's not even routes. It's like, so for him to duplicate that is so unlikely. He has to develop as a route runner and a guy that they're willing to use downfield. But when you have Dante Thornton as a downfield threat, when you have Trey Tucker annihilating teams for 3 touchdowns, like, what's up with that? And then you have Jacoby Myers, who's just a pro, a savant. Yeah. It's hard for me to, and I still think Brock Bowers is awesome. So I'm dumping a lot of water on him just to say he's very good, but the role is just not good enough, I don't think, to duplicate what he did last year. And then on top of that, he's clearly not the same athletically, whether that's because of injury or there was a rumor I saw today that they asked him to put on a bunch of weight so he can play tight end. Which, why do teams do that? Wow. That's not why you drafted him where you did, right?
That's wild. He's a receiver. You treat him as a receiver. And
as far as I'm concerned, you don't ask anyone to gain weight. How about that? No one.
Yes.
Unless it's maybe Travis Hunter. He is very skinny.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Todd Pinkston. Healthy weight. Jamison Williams has put on 20 pounds for the Lions, but it's been over 4 years.
Right.
So he can maintain that explosiveness because he's training it through the weight gain.
Absolutely.
Asking a guy to put on 20 pounds in one offseason, and it's unconfirmed. So let's not act like it's truth, but it's still concerning if that's true, man. That's crazy.
I'm looking at it, John, like there's one must-start tight end now, and it's Trey McBride. Like, that's kind of where we're at with fantasy.
Yeah, tight end's gross.
Yes.
Well, we'll check in on that. Hopefully, Tyler Warren, I think, is up there too now. I think I'm and Ferguson.
Yeah,
I'm ready to put Ferguson there. Yeah. But fair point. And maybe Hawkinson can get back there. We got to keep going, man. Let's go. I mean, it was a great sign last week. I actually did see, by the way, with Hawkinson is third best ass at tight end. Yep. That's good. That's good because I was scared S-less last week.
Well, that's what we were saying last week. If Hawkinson can't beat the Bengals' slow linebackers and safeties, that's going to be really. And he did. He looked a lot better.
He did. Brett and I were talking about this earlier. I like Genty here, Brett, because of this horrible Bear run defense. And as soon as I looked into the numbers that they're giving up the second most adjusted yards before contact, I'm like, that's just what Genty needs.
Yes. It's a perfect antidote for a team. Like, he's getting hit in the backfield on average every carry, which is wild. Bears are giving up 5.5 total on the ground, the most adjusted yards before contact, and a 7.9 explosive run rate. And this one's crazy. A 56% success rate allowed on the ground.
Wow.
It's like over half the runs against them are going for.
Better get 20 freaking carries.
I think so, man. That's this is a good spot for him. I'm betting his prop is 64.5 right now on MGM. I'm betting the over on that. I don't know that I'll touch another Genty prop all year because that O-line's so bad, but this is a nice line for this week.
And then Trey Tucker, my gut feeling is like, go with it, quite frankly, because I don't think Besh is ready for prime time. Thornton, I don't think is. Brock is not running as well. Genty, they can't run the rock. You got to get somebody else here. Geno got a big arm, just chucking it. So what are your thoughts on Trey Tucker, Brett?
Yeah, I mean, he looks good. He's always looked good, even going back to Cincinnati when he played college ball there. It's just that he's 5'7", so I've never been a believer. There's not a lot of 5'7" receivers tearing it up, but We know Geno, like he can't help himself. He has to throw the bomb, and he's going to do it. So I guess let it rip until it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, for those dying and for some upside for sure. They're throwing it a lot as well. All righty, we've got the Sunday night affair, the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys, and woo, baby. Brett, as we discussed earlier today, I think Javonte is catching 9 balls, and I think Jordan Love will average 11 yards per attempt. What do you see here in this one?
Yeah, I told Chris when he was doing projections, I was like, whatever number you come up with for Jordan Love, I'll sign off on it. Even if it's 500, because his prop right now is 227.5. That's an easy smash. Dallas is on pace to have the worst pass defense in the history of the NFL. I know it's only 3 games, but they've gotten obliterated in pretty much all 3. This is a great spot. Romeo Doubs, I'm firing up too. I like Matthew Golden. I love if you got a receiver on the Packers, play them. There's a chance he'll score a 60-yard touchdown for free because it will be a busted coverage. And then the Green Bay front is so good they forced checkdowns. So I think your Javonte call is actually great.
You know what, Graham? My nightmares have me with Dontavian Wicks going for $150 with 2 touchdowns.
No. That could for sure happen.
So, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, like Brett was saying, the Cowboys are busting so many coverages. I love this spot for Matthew Golden, though. We were talking about him as a buy low last week. I still feel like he's a pretty decent buy low. Route share has come up in 3 straight games. Obviously, came way up last week with no Jaden Reed. The Cowboys have allowed 444 yards on passes over 20 yards in the air. That's by far the most in the NFL. Patriots are second most at 230 yards, so nearly, almost well over 200 yards more than the second worst team. The big question to me is like, how competitive can Dallas keep this game, right? Like, they're missing 2 offensive linemen. The offense is obviously going to be a lot worse with CeeDee Lamb out, and we know Micah Parsons is going to be hyped up to be in that backfield all game long. I think Golden's a really good play this week. I like the Dobbs call too. I think if you're like desperate for a receiver play, Dobbs is definitely in play. Cowboys are giving up 35 fantasy points per game to opposing outside wide receivers. So it's like a money spot for basically this whole passing offense.
15
I like Pickens,
target.
but like Pickens is going to eat now, guys.
Yeah, he's going to have to. He lost his mind. He had his crash out. He's going to average a crash out every 4 games. So hopefully he got that out of him last week. He had the crash out. They desperately need him, but Jake Ferguson, man, like he's just going to catch so many underneath dump offs. Like,
unbelievable.
It'll be Pickens, running the over the top routes, Pickett and Ferguson underneath. That was a PPR scam last week, but he's a lock for 5 or 6 catches every single week. It feels like
100%. I mean, that was the easiest win of all time. Brett, you reminded me of one of my favorite projection stories with Jordan Love. I think you may know this story. 30 years, I projected a running back to go over 200 yards once, and he did it.
It was Adrian Peterson, right?
Yeah, against the Bears. I'm like, they're like, what? I'm like, that's right. 200 projection, and he did it. So great. The Jets at the Dolphins, to wrap it up. I saw that this unbelievably good schematic matchup here for Tua, for what it's worth. I guess he's good against man, right? Sauce Gardner, we are projecting the shadow on Tyreek, so it sure as hell looks like a good Jalen Waddle game here. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, Jalen Waddle for sure. I mean, this is I feel like this is a battle for Mike McDaniel's job right here. You go 0-4 and lose to an 0-3 division rival, Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fighting every week for his life anyways, but I mean, this is it. So I think Waddle, big game here. The Jets did just trade for Jarvis Brownlee from the Titans, who is I think he's a good corner. Titans have a lot of corners. So I don't know if he's going to play in this game, but he's definitely an upgrade over Michael Carter and whoever they got playing in the slot right now. So, but I still think Waddle smashes here. This game's kind of, I mean, I like Brees on the other side, but other than that, I don't really know. I'm not a Mason Taylor anytime touchdown guy, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Graham, we do have a 45.5 total. That's not bad. I think it's a function of the Miami Dolphins craptastic defense.
Yep.
And also maybe a schematic matchup for Tua. But I think we'll get some action here. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, two things. If Justin Fields plays, he's like borderline must start. He's coming out of the concussion protocol. And like you said, I mean, Miami's defense is definitely craptastic. Cowboys, Bears are the two worst defenses in the NFL. I think Miami's clearly the third worst, giving up the third most passing fantasy points per drop back. Obviously, Fields, he can get there with his legs too. Starts a really good string of matchups for Fields. He has the Cowboys next as well. So yeah, if we get, that week 2 game scared me as well. Like he played great week 1, then he was really bad week 2. We've got a chance here to get 2 really good back-to-back Fields games. I know this on paper is a good matchup for Tua and Brett. You've been right on Mike McDaniel, especially with his like situational football stuff. But right now, this is not Mike McDaniel's fault. That offense he's called this season has been really good. I think receivers are running open. The concepts are blended. He's doing a good job kind of getting the run game back going. They're not a bottom 3 run game anymore. They're at least running the ball with some level of effectiveness. To me, this is all Tua. Like the processing is just so bad, man. Like
who's called so bad? His regression.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like, because that's the question McDaniel will have to answer. Because I think what you said is right. It is true. But he's going to be held accountable for Tua's regression, right?
No, that's absolutely true. I mean, if he's made one mistake, it's definitely like going all in on Tua. That's for sure. I mean, that's been his guy. And man, Miami, that contract is pretty much unsalvageable for Tua. Like, there's no way anybody's trading for him. They're pretty much stuck with him for the next 2 years, at least just eating all that money. So it is not looking good right now.
And Tua was, I mean, he had no chance on a second reaction play. None.
Yeah.
Like none. If he breaks from the pocket, we're not getting, it's an incompletion, so that does not work in this day and age, quite frankly. Bengals, Broncos, Chase Brown, guys. I mean, maybe I mentally blocked it out because I didn't want to talk about Chase Brown.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah. This is brutal, man. Like they cannot run at all, and we're screwed. We're screwed with Chase Brown. Tell me I'm wrong, Brett.
No, I mean you're right. Like similar to Genty, he's getting hit in the backfield on average behind the line of scrimmage. Problem with that, like Genty can make guys miss. That's not really Brown's game. Brown's a speed demon, and if he does not have room to run behind the line of scrimmage, he's useless. I mean, honestly, so. This is not a good situation. It feels like so many of those early second round guys are just completely wasted right now. That 1-2 turn where everyone was like picking at the back end. If you didn't do that right, you're in trouble.
Except for my boy JT.
Yeah, if you went like Puka JT, you're golden. But like Chase Brown, Drake London, Nico's been bad. There's been a bunch, man. Right in that range. It's just like, ugh. Chase Brown's another one, man. So pour one out. I don't want to say it's over, but the Bengals refuse to address the offensive line, and without Joe Burrow taking the heat off of him, I think it's over. So
yeah, I agree. I was talking about this with Theo earlier. It's like I think he would have been okay if we had Burrow just because of the red zone trips, right? They would have been top 5 in red zone trips, but I mean, they're going to be extremely one-dimensional. That does give me a little bit of hope for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins moving forward, just because they can't run the ball. They're not going to be able to run the ball. They're going to have to throw it. And I know it was a terrible, terrible game from Jake Browning.
He was awful.
He was, he played the worst game of any quarterback last week by quite a margin, but it was a tough matchup. Brian Flores is a very, very good defensive coordinator. Obviously, tons of pressure. Problem is, Broncos are kind of a similar defense. They blitz a ton. They're going to get this figured out. Pat Surtain is still playing at Defensive Player of the Year levels of goodness. He's going to see a lot of Chase. So I'm still leaving in Higgins as a flex play. But John, I listed Chase Brown as a sit this week. I don't know how you can play him with any level of confidence.
Oh no, I mean it's and we're not getting the targets. Burrow doesn't love to throw it, but they get in these shootouts where he has to. And Chase Brown catches some balls, but that's gone now. Oh man, I'm really concerned here. Yeah, I mean I like Chase Brown. The only thing I can say, and hopefully people listen to it by the letter is Chase Brown was my backup plan if you couldn't get Taylor in round 2. Hopefully everybody got Taylor for the love of all things holy, because that's quite the difference there between those two guys. And then Denver, Brett, I still just don't get a warm and fuzzy feeling with Bo Nix and this offense. I don't know. Maybe it's just they don't have enough around him. O-line looks pretty good, but what do you see from Bo Nix these days?
Yeah, he's not playing good football right now.
Yeah.
He's really on the struggle bus. Like, this is worse than any stretch he had last year as a rookie.
Sophomore slump.
Yeah, sophomore slump. I'm inclined to believe he'll break out of it because Sean Payton is a stabilizing force.
Yep.
The O-line is good. Cortland Sutton is good.
He was a little sus last year in September. I mean, granted, it's his first month, but he did get progressively better last year.
Yeah, he did start really bad last year. You're not wrong about that. That's for sure. So, the other thing though that's weird is he kind of isn't the efficiency running the football is not the same for him.
Right.
Like, he'd have like 4 carries for 40 yards or 4 carries. Like, now it's like 8, 9, 10 carries for 25 yards, and it's that's a big deal too. But he's not throwing the ball well. So
yeah. And then Graham, I say go get RJ Harvey. I know Dobbins is doing pretty well. I don't believe that he can keep it up. I do think their running game's good. They're going to lean on it, and their O-line's good. But what are your thoughts on Harvey?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I thought this would be a 1-2 punch to start the season, and Dobbins is just playing so well that they've not really needed it, right? Like, Dobbins had 2 catastrophic injuries, but to my eye, I mean, he does not look like he's lost a lot of burst. Still looks very, very quick.
He does.
Yeah, I'm with you. We could be looking like week 8. Dobbins gets hurt.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. Harvey's a great buy low in dynasty leagues right now. That's for sure. I'm buying a Knicks bounce back though. Brett, you're just right. Only Russell Wilson has a lower catchable throw rate right now than Bo Nix does. He's at 68.4%. That's going to come up because Nix is going to start playing a little better. We've seen it, last year especially. He started getting the downfield stuff right. And it's also going to come up because Sean Payton is just an excellent play schemer. West Coast offense, kind of get him they got to get him going on some shorter throws, I think. But this is a great get-right spot. Bengals are allowing the 7th most passing fantasy points per game. Their secondary stinks. Linebackers, safeties are slow. They'll get it going, and I like this spot for Knicks. I'm sticking with them for one more week.
Well, that is a wrap-a-roni on this here podcast, week 4 edition. Keep in mind that, we have all kinds of stuff still forthcoming, the DFS stuff, other live streams like the Sunday morning game day one. So make sure you're liking and subscribe to the YouTube page. Make sure, of course, you're getting all the pods, Brett's pod, the Fantasy Points pod. We got a lot of stuff here. Whether you just want to read it old school on the interwebs, or you want to listen to it or watch it, it is all here at fantasypoints.com. Thanks a lot for liking and subscribing. Good luck to everybody in week 4. For Graham and Brett, I'm John. Good luck in week number 4, and we'll catch you next week here at fantasypoints.com.